Good day, ma'am. Good day, classmates. And we are the Group 5, and I am Evelyn Amorsi Padinet, and we are going to discuss the sociological theories. So before I discuss the sociological theories with its subfield and branches, I'm going to discuss what is sociology. So sociology, it is the science of society, social institutions, and social relationship, specifically the systematic study of the development, structure, interaction, and collective behavior of organized groups of human beings. So, ang kaning sociology, it is one of the branches of social sciences. Kani siya, gakahitabo gid ni sa to permente kay mao man ni siya ang study of society. And mao ni siya like mag-interact ang individual with other individual or groups. And sociology also explains that the study of social life, social change, and the social causes and consequences of human behavior. And somehow daw ang sociology or kanang mga ang individual or society is naagid diga kahitabo nga changes, causes because kani siya mahitabo ni siya tungod sa influence with other individual nga mao po daw na ang maka-face sa consequences or punishments. And sociologies investigate the structure of groups, organizations, and societies and how people interact within this context. So, as you can see in the picture below, it is the example of society. Like ang mga people like interact sila with each other or ang group interact with each other. So, next slide. So, sociological theories. As sociological theories, it is a set of ideas that provides an explanation for human society. It explains that individuals acquire criminal behavior. It describes that how the agents of socialization, such as family, environment, schools, mass media, and peer groups. This criminal behavior contribute or affect the specific individual by somehow manifest as to how a person responded or reacted with regards to the conduct displayed by other person whom or she or he is socializing or interact with. So, ang individual daw somehow daw prone or maka-create gid og criminal behavior or illegal behavior kay tungod daw sa interaction niya with other people like sa imong family, environment, school, mass media, or sa peer groups. And kani daw siya makakuan gid daw ni sila hang maka-create gid daw ni ang individual tungod like gaka-influence nila ang ilaha ang like sa behavior sa usa ka tao, like ma-influence nila ang and maka-affect na sa ilang mental health, also po sa ilang physical. And next slide. The different subfields of sociological theories. Na yung mga different subfields and there are two major. The first one is the social structure theories and the second one is the social process theories. Next reporter, please.
Hello everyone, I'm Sagin Kimberly Joy M and I'm the one who will continue to tackle about social structure theories. It suggests that social and economic forces operating in deteriorated lower class areas push many of the residents into criminal behavior patterns. There are major and subfield branches of social structure theories, namely social disorganization theory, concentric zone theory, anomy theory, strain theory, relative deprivation theory, general strain theory, cultural deviance theory, subculture theory, and differential opportunity theory. Social structure theories emphasize poverty, lack of education, absence of marketable skills, and subcultural values as fundamental causes of crime. Subfield of social structure theories first is social disorganization theory. It was created by Chicago-based sociologists Clifford R. Shaw and Henry McKay, who link crime rates to neighborhood ecological characteristics. Crime rates are elevated in highly transient mixed use where residential and commercial property exist side by side and changing neighborhoods in which the fabric of social life has become a fade. These localities are unable to provide essential services such as education, healthcare, and proper housing, and as a result experience significant levels of unemployment, single parents families, and others. The primary of the theory causes of criminal behavior were neighborhood disintegration and slum conditions to place what they called transitional neighborhoods. Refer that the place of Chicago were ridden by poverty and which suffer high rates of population turnover and were incapable of inducing residents to remain unfilled to defend the neighborhoods against criminal groups. So, a social disorganization theory is suggests that a person's residential location is more significant than a person's characteristics when predicting criminal activity, and souvenirs living in these areas acquired criminality by the culture approval within the disadvantaged urban neighborhoods. Example, the theory suggests that youths from disadvantaged neighborhoods participate in a subculture which approves of a delinquency, and that these youths thus acquire criminality in this social and cultural setting. Example of this in example of this in crime is a theoretical perspective that explains ecological differences in levels of crime based on structural and cultural factors shaping the nature of the social order across community. So the second is concentric zone theory. It was pioneered by Chicago School sociologists Ernest W. Burgess and Robert E. Park. However, it was R. Shaw and Henry D. McKay noted that distinct ecological area had developed in the city of Chicago. It compromised that a series of five concentric circles zones and that there were stable and significant differences in inner zone crime rates. The areas of heaviest concentration of crime appeared to be the transitional inner city zones where large numbers of foreign-born citizens had settled. The zone farthest from the city central had lower crime rates. Shaw and McKay's assumption is that even though crime rates change, they formed that the highest rates were always in central city and transitional areas. So, the concentric zone theory, the concept of this theory is the theory possesses concentric zones around the central area defined by their residential composition, from the very poor and socially deviant in the inner zone option to peripheral suburban commuter ring. The third is anomy theory. David Emily Durkheim, a French sociologist, introduced the term anomy, which derived from the anomos, which means without norms. According to Durkheim, an anomic society is one in which rules of or norms have broken or become inoperative during periods of rapid social change or a social crisis as war or famine. Anomy most likely occurs societies that are moving forward mechanically to organic solidarity. So anomy theory is it is a Milton theory, is that most people strive to achieve culturally recognized a goal. A state of anomy develops when access to these goals is blocked to entire groups of people or individuals. In criminology, the idea to me is that the person chooses criminal activity because the individual believes that there is no reason not to. In other words, the person is alienated, feels worthless, and their efforts to try and achieve anything else are fruitless. Example, in the antagonism between capitalists and workers, there is little contact between the capitalists themselves and the workers. Thank you. Next reporter.
Hello everyone, my name is IB Mstria and I will continue to my report the mechanical solidarity. It is defined as characteristic of pre-industrial society, which is held together by tradition, shared values, and unquestioned beliefs. Organic solidarity refers to the post-industrial system in which the place is highly developed and dependent upon the division of labor and people are connected by their interdependent needs for its other service and productions. String theory. American sociologist Robert K. Merton applied Durkheim's ideas of anomic to community. Second, he holds the crime is a function of the conflict between the goals people have and the means they can use to legally obtain those goals. Those who are fail to attain their goals because of inadequate means will bear anger, frustration, and resentment. Third, Merton developed what we call social adaptation to explain that some people have inadequate means of attaining success, other people who have the means reject societal goals being unsuited to them. Number 4. The five modes of Merton's of adaptation are conformity, innovation, ritualism, creationism, and rebellion. Number 5. Relative deprivation theory. This theory clearly emphasized that a sharp division between the rich and the poor creates an atmosphere of envy and mistrust. Second, criminal motivation is fueled both by perceived humiliation and the perceived right to humiliate a victim in return. Third, lower class people might feel both deprived and embittered when they compare their life circumstances because of their economic status may lead to aggression and hostility and may result to violence and crime. And the last, general strain theory. Sociologist Robert Agnew reformulated the strain theory of Robert Merton and suggests that criminality is the direct result of negative affective states are anger, frustration, disappointment, and other adverse emotions that derive from strain. Second, Agnew tries to explain why individuals who feel stress and strain are more likely to commit crimes and offers more explanation of criminal activity among all elements of society rather than restricting his view to lower class crime. Thank you. Next reporter.
Good afternoon, guys. My name is Kim Marquez. This is my report, Cultural Deviance Theory. This theory combines the effects of social disorganization and strain to explain how people living in deteriorated neighborhoods react to social isolation and economic deprivation. Because of the tuning, frustrating, and dispiriting experience, members of the lower class create an independent subculture with its own set rules and values. This lower class subculture expresses excitement, toughness, risk-taking, fearlessness, and immediate gratification. And this is the definition of cultural deviance theory. This is the suggests that conformity to the prevailing cultural norms of lower class society causes crimes. Differential opportunity theory. It is the output of the classic work Richard A. Coward and Lloyd A. Owen's Delinquency and Opportunity. This theory is a combination of strain and disorganization principle into a fourth trial of a gang-sustaining criminal subculture. The main concept of this theory states that people in all strategy of society shall have the same success goals, but that those in the lower class have limited means of achieving them. People who perceive themselves as failures within conventional society will seek alternative or innovating ways to gain success, such as join a drug syndicates and try other forms of illegal activities. This is the example. This is the which is the idea that people usually from low socioeconomic backgrounds who have few opportunities for success will use any means at their disposal to achieve success. Delinquent subculture theory. Albert K. Cohen first articulated the theory in his classic book Delinquent Boys. Cohen's position was that delinquent behavior of lower-class youth is actually a protest against the norms and values middle-class U.S. culture. The social conditions make them incapable of achieving success legitimately. Lower-class youth experience a form of culture conflict that Cohen's labels status frustration. Status frustration refers to the state where youths are incapable of achieving their legitimate goals in life of the social condition that they into such a having poor parents and living in some areas. Thus, another definition, social process theories are a grouping of criminological theories that give the explanation of the people engaged in criminal behaviors. The social process theories include differential association, social learning theory, social control theory, and labeling theory. And the last is social process theories, which hold that criminality is a function of individual socialization. Social process theories also have major branches such as drift theory or neutralization theory, differential association theory, containment theory, social band theory, and social reaction theory. Another definition is that the juvenile criminals are members of delinquent subculture. The norms, values, or interests of the subculture may support particular criminal acts, a limited set of such acts. And that's all. Thank you.
Okay, good evening everyone. My name is Raymond Saligumba. So my topic is all about social process theories. There are five types of social process theories. Number one is drift theory. Neutralization theory, other word of drift theory, is identified with the writings of David Matza and his associate Grisham M6. They viewed the process of becoming a criminal as a learning experience in which potential delinquents and criminals master techniques that enable them as to counterbalance or neutralize bot pasabot sa unsa iyahang nakita ginabuhat niya from gamay to dako. So bot pasabot wala na iya konsensya kay ang tao nga masaligan sa gagmay nga butang masaligan sa usab sa dako nga butang. So from the word itself, gamay pa gani nanguha na siya anyet sa sige-sige na niya, so mo nang ginatawag nga learning experience. So drift theory. Number 2 is the differential association theory. Tell me who you are and I will tell you who your friends are and I will tell you who you are. A Mexican proverb that would best describe the theory of differential association. From the word itself, this person is American criminologist Edwin H. Sutherland. In his work, the principle of criminology, he suggests that people commit a crime by learning in a social context through their interactions with others and communication with them. He believed criminal behavior is learned by interactions with others, and this includes learning the techniques of committing the crime, and the motives drives rationalizations and attitudes for committing it. Bot pasabot kung unsa imong mga kauban, so ma-adapt nimo ang ilang mga batasan. And then number 3 is contentment theory. Contentment theory was presented by Walter C. Rickless and assumes that for every individual, there exists a containing external structure and a protective internal structure, both of which provide defense, protection, or insulation against delinquency. According to Reckless, outer containment or the structural buffer that holds the person in bounds. But pasabot, kung unsa ang gina kamkam nimo, kailangan lang i-defend nimo. But pasabot, dili ka mo angkon sa imo sala. Mo na siya containment theory. Social bound theory, also called social control theory, articulated by Travis I.W. Hershey in his 1969 book Causes of Delinquency, now the dominant version of control theory. Hershey links the outset of criminality to the weakening of the ties that bind people to society. He assumes that all individuals are potential law violators. Yes, this word social bound theory, but pasabot dili kay tagasagara sa ato is mo against sa balaod potential law violators, kay naa may uban balaod nga dili maayo, but pasabot example, the ignorance of the law excuses no one na ay tigulang siya inosente kaayo siya, anyet nagbaligya siya o marijuana, anyet gidakop siya kay ningon man the law may be harsh but it is the law. But then tungod kay wala siya hanaw, so kita ginatawag nga potential law violators. Okay, social bound theory. Number 5, the last one, is social reaction or labeling theory. Labeling theory was created by Howard S. Baker, who explained that society creates deviance through a system of social control agencies that designate label certain individuals as delinquent, thereby stigmatizing a person and encouraging them to accept this negative personal identity. For example, people labeled insane are also assumed to be dangerous, dishonest, unstable, violent, strange, and otherwise unsound. In contrast, negative labels including troublemakers, mentally ill, and stupid help stigmatize the recipients of these labels and reduce their self-image. But pasabot, labeling theory, moingon siya sa usa ka tawo nga kana siya nga tao is buang-buang, walay kuan. So sa kana sa sige nimo sa istorya inana, so moabot ang panahon nga mo kuan sa iyang kaugalingon nga kani dili na ko maayo, dili na ni maayo, so butang sa iyang hunahuna nga siya mismo mo self-esteem na dili na mo baba na iyang self-esteem. So mo na siya ang social or labeling theory. That's all. My name is Raymond Saligumba. Thank you and God bless.